What's up, you fools? Matt, ESC United, and Zack, ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel, and today is day 84 of rehearsals, I believe. Maybe it's day 7. Basically, it's the last round of semi-finalists having their individual rehearsal run through, and 11 countries from semi-final 2 rehearsed for the last time. Not the rehearsals last time per se, but the individual rehearsals, because the next time they'll get to go on stage is when we have our dress rehearsal starting Wednesday for the semi-finalists. So, Zack, let's talk them through. There were 11 of them.
Or was there 9?
Wasn't there 11?
No, there was 9.
Oh, there were 9. You're right. There are only 9. Yesterday we had 11 because we had 2 semifinalists from the first semifinal. That's right. So we only have 9. So it's going to be a quick video. Or not. Let's see here. Let's go for them one by one. I know. I like to talk. Rude. The first country that rehearsed today was Croatia, Roko. What do you think? Any changes? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, continued improvements. Staging looks gorgeous. I think the Croatian delegation should be pretty proud of the product they have. Fantastic singer. He's obviously resting his voice. So, yeah, looks good.
Yeah. I agree with you that he's resting his voice a little for the big notes. Fine, not concerned about that. I said before in my videos that I like the staging for what it is. I know I'm sure some people may not like it. I'm sad that they got rid of the angels at the very end, that sent to heaven at the very end that they had in the original one. I thought it was a nice touch. But they fixed the camera angles where the angels, when they descend from heaven, show up at the right place at the right time. So camera angles fixed. I think it looks good. So I think it was a solid rehearsal from Croatia again. Moving on to Malta. There were a few changes, huh?
Yeah, there were a lot of changes. It's now not like a music video. It's more like a really slick performance at an award show. And I think at first I was really shocked by the changes. But as we get more information, we're learning that there are certain issues that production didn't approve of. So they had to really come up with a plan B really quick. And I actually think the plan B, while I think not as strong as plan A, is still a very good plan, and the viewers won't miss much.
Yeah. Now, the viewers will never see what we saw before, but basically what we're hearing is that production did not approve or can no longer use those walls that they initially brought in that gave us the video effect, which is unfortunate because to me that was really cool. There were so many close-ups. It was... Yes, I felt as Michele, I need to give it more energy, but it just was really slick. And the good thing about this staging is it felt as Michele was a lot more comfortable and in her place and not scared of the stage, loosening up. So that was good. I still miss the original staging a lot, but as said, nobody else will get to see it, so maybe it's not that big of a deal, but I still had to point it out. Moving on to Lithuania, Juri's second run-through.
Yeah, still really good, solid performance. I mean, there's not much to say about Lithuania. They have a show, they have it secured. They're really using the charm and likability of Jurij, and they're going with that.
Yes, and that's exactly what it is. There's very little change. It was just like the national final. I felt bad because at some point we were all talking distracted from the actual rehearsals because there's zero to point out. Improvement dressing, it's slick, it's what it is, and if you like the song, you'll be happy. If you were not into the song, I don't think this will win you over. I think that's what sums it up. Russia, Sergey Lazarev, Scream, his second run through. Your thoughts?
Yeah, so really Russia's going for blood. They want to win. A lot of people are saying this isn't as strong as a performance as his 2016 performance, but I feel that the song is much better quality. I think the televoters are really going to connect with it again as they did in 2016, and I think we're going to see some really good connection with the jurors as well with this one. The problem is it's such a strong semi, it's hard to tell where they're going to end up in the mix with so many other strong entries coming after them.
Yes. And the only thing also, just so we point out with Roko, I believe he was saving his voice. He didn't hit that very high note at the very end. But even if you weren't to do that at all, I don't think that necessarily takes that much away because most people don't know that there was a big note to begin with. So I do think that for an elaborate staging like Sergey's, it is also pretty solid, and I think they're ready for it. There are no fireworks, no pyros, it's just the boxes, and people always compare it to, I look at it as a standalone piece, and I think it works, it looks good. I'm impressed. He is on a roll, Sergey. I have no concerns about Russia this year. But what about Albania? A few changes there.
Which one?
Albania.
Sorry, I got distracted. There's a lot of noise and fandom going on around here. Albania, yeah, really good performance. I think Jonida going off the mic stand was a really good improvement because she looked really uncomfortable on the pedestal with the mic stand. And now that you take off the mic stand and the pedestal, she's able to really sink into the performance more. And I think she looks really good and she looks really comfortable with it.
Yes. I do like what they did. They added a few cool shots on the floor, the LED floor. It looks like a bird's nest where people are trying to crawl out of it. That was a new effect that they've done, which I really liked. And it just adds a little bit because it is a simple staging. The only other thing that they changed is that they, instead of keeping her at the microphone stand the entire time, I think it was the second chorus, where a stage guy comes running and takes away her microphone stand, so she actually just holds it, maybe walks like a step or two. I think that's the only difference there was, but vocally, she is ready, energy-wise, she is ready. So if you like the song, I think we're good to go. It was a good day overall. It seems like we've been very positive for the most part about but it was a really good rehearsal day, I think, overall. What do you think about Norway?
Norway, yeah, really great improvements. They have the stage screen that they said they wanted originally, the colors, everything else. I mean, it's really so different seeing their template versus the real show. I think we were a little worried about them being a borderline qualifier. I think all of us feel really comfortable about them qualifying now.
Yes, it's definitely, I still feel it's a little bit too dark, but they go with that theme, black clothes. And I do like that they added the Northern Lights. We needed the Northern Lights in the song because they're singing about them. I do like, it's a lot brighter. There are cool effects on the floor as well as they're using at the very end. They fly through a colorful space thing, travel. That's kind of cool as well. So they did really brighten it up. I wish it would have been a little bit more, but that being said, I do think that this is coming together, and the problem is with Norway, we don't have an audience yet, and this really lives off of the audience participation, basically, and the energy. And once that's in there, I think, as you pointed out, I think they're good to go qualifying. The Netherlands, that was an interesting one.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were freaking out and disappointed. I'm not worried. I feel like they were just trying a couple things out. I mean, it's strange to see it done in the second rehearsal, but why not do it during the second rehearsal when you have tweaks and things done after the first rehearsal? You keep trying to figure out angles and things that improve. You have 3 to 4 runs. Why not go for it? Netherlands were taking a lot of chances with different camera work. We were kind of having discussions about which run through do we like the best. I like the one where the globe was lit on top of the piano for the whole time. The spotlight was an issue in that first run through, but easily changed as we saw in the second and third run through. I think Netherlands is really going for a win. They're hungry for it. And I think they have a really slick package that is going to be a strong contender for the win.
Yeah. I also like the one you mentioned where the orb was lit up the entire time on the piano the most. The second time they didn't have any orbs, and the third time it came on like at the big note, I think. So that's the difference. I liked it when it's on there because it felt like that object that he is singing to almost, and the camera pans around. So I think they're trying it out, which one works best, and we'll find out during the dress rehearsals which one it is. So that makes people nervous, and because it's not as common to try out all these different things every single run through. So that's why I don't know what they're going to do, but I have a feeling they picked the right one and it's going to be fine. I like the laser effect that they use now with the water effect or sky. It looks kind of similar. I couldn't figure out which one it is, but it's probably water. It adds.
Yeah, we have to remember. I mean, with the changes. I mean, remember in 2012, the Netherlands really came to Baku without a single idea of how they were going to do in the staging. And I think a lot of people are worried or scarred by that experience and worrying, is this happening again? Do they really have something planned? And a lot of our readers said, Ilse Delange running the show, don't worry, she has a plan, she has a mission, she's just testing things out, don't worry, the Netherlands are going to knock it out of the ballpark.
And then that didn't happen, but hopefully this time it will happen. North Macedonia.
Wow, what great vocals. I felt like the mic was a little off. I can't tell if it's the sound in the press center or if it's the mixing of the mics with the actual performance, but she has just such great vocals, and I think they have tweaked around some of the staging. I think the mirrors are a little bit more striking now that they're larger. Mm-hmm. It felt real empty still and felt like they were just trying to put mirrors randomly anywhere, but now with the bigger mirrors, it looks a lot more powerful, and I think they really figured out their staging. And there is some simplicity. I think people are so freaking out about how North Macedonia has a reputation for ruining the staging of great songs, but I feel like the country and its fans should be really proud of what they're going to present today.
Yes, I completely agree. This is definitely a staging that they can be excited about. Would I have gone down the route of the mirror effect with the back one? Probably not. That being said, that is a personal thing. I do agree that as they spaced out those mirror things, make them bigger basically, it really opened it up and made it less cluttery, I guess. And at some point it seems like she gets bigger, like her reflection gets bigger a little bit, and like a special effect with the dress, the color changes a little bit. It's really cool and nicely done. And my favorite part is when at some point everything goes black except like the spotlight being on her. It feels like she is abandoned on her own, but she's still proud of who she is, and that was a really cool moment. So I think the staging, whether or not they're going to qualify, they should feel good about it, North Macedonia, of what they got done today. Last but not least, again, Azerbaijan wrapping it up. Big reception last time they rehearsed. What do you think about today's run-through?
Yeah, despite my inability to pronounce the country correctly, I do feel they have such a great show. I always talk about the concerns when there's any sort of ethnic type of singing, joking, mungam. I always feel like the Bulgarian ethnic music, I always feel a little uncomfortable hearing it because it never sounds 100% perfect. And I feel like Chingiz, for the first time, is doing that type of vocal style to justice. And
Yes.
We're hearing it, and it sounds really good for both Eastern ears as well as Western European ears. So I think it's going to be a really strong package, especially with the images and the holograms and the things they're using on the stage. Azerbaijan really want to do justice and get back into the finals, and I think they're actually, there's talk about them, talk of Baku 2020.
Yep, there is quite a lot of talk about that, actually. Basically what you said, I was getting nervous at the beginning because the first run through, at the very beginning when the robots were doing the thing, the camera work was off. And I'm like, oh no, why is the camera work off now after the second rehearsal? But that was probably just a little glitch at the beginning. The second run through was fine. And Chingiz was completely into it. You saw him like at the end of the performance, like fake flexing and bowing down because he was so into it. The press really got him going. So just imagine when there's actually an audience of like 8,000 people in there, he's going to be totally into it. He probably can barely restrain himself. So the energy will be there. I think it looked amazing once again. And I don't know what else to add. I think Azerbaijan, they're ready. They're ready, and we are ready to see them advancing from the semifinals to the finals. But with that being said, it sounds like there was a pretty good day today overall, and it was very difficult for me to pick the top three as well as the one that needs most improvement to the dress rehearsal. So let's go through them. It may be really random right now, so take it with a grain of salt.
Not random at all.
Not random, but you know what I mean.
Nothing sucked.
Nothing sucked. Exactly. I had a difficult time putting them in the top three together. But who's your top number three?
My number three. So my number three today was Malta. I had some issues with some of the staging at first, but as I thought more about it, I thought, the one thing I didn't mention is when you have the audience in the arena, there's a lot of shots that are going to take advantage of the silhouettes of the audience cheering and shouting, particularly those straightforward shots where you can't even see the floor. It is just them, flat, straight centered. And when you add the audience kind of cheering in the background, you see these hands and these waves flagging, I think it's going to be a really cool shot. So I'm really buying into Malta's redesign, number three for me.
All right. So my number three may come as a surprise to some, but not really. The Netherlands. So yes, people are saying, okay, all these different shots, doesn't make sense. What are they going to do? I'm a little bit nervous that they're not going to do the right thing, but I have faith in them that they're going to do the right thing. And I feel as they're on a mission with the lights, the lasers that they had, and if they use the orb effectively and make it just like the way I want them to, that's a condition here. I think this is going to look good. I cannot put them higher up because it is there's an uncertainty here. But if it comes together, I'm feeling something here, the Netherlands. So don't let me down. You're number two.
Number two is the Netherlands.
Oh, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I think, everyone's freaking out about them trying out different things, but I think, they're at liberty to. They have a show, they know what they want to do, and now they're just testing things out. And this is the issue with the press, is that we take things too literally. We look at one thing it's done, and then all of a sudden we're assuming the next thing we see is the replacement. And maybe it's not, maybe it's a tweak, but I have faith in the Netherlands. I have faith that they're going to put on a really good show, and we're going to see no issues come Wednesday during the jury final or semifinal.
Okay. Well, my number two is actually Russia again. I know they've been just so consistent. Cannot wait for to give him that 100% with that big final note, but everything is in place. Yes, there was an issue with one of the screens at some point where his image didn't come on, but whoop-de-doo, not a big deal. Other than that, this seems like flawless camera work and everything position-wise for such an elaborate staging. Again, it's high up in my ranking in the just like last time around, so not much else to say. I was impressed. Now, I know it was a good day. No one sucked, so somebody got to be number one. Who is it and why?
I'm trying to make sure I say this correctly. Azerbaijan.
No, it's Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan? Is it Azerbaijan?
Yes, Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan. It's not, how have I been saying it? Azerbaijan?
I don't know what you said, but it doesn't matter. You said it.
Azerbaijan. Emphasis on the Azerbaijan. Yeah, okay. Azerbaijan is my number one. Yeah, so great show. Everything looked good. They want to be in the final again. They do not want to have the embarrassment that they had last year. And just to say, it wasn't a bad song last year. I quite enjoyed it. It's still on my playlist, but this year they really want to do well and return to the top 10 for the first time since 2013. And I think they're going to do it.
Yep, it's my number one as well. I know it sounds kind of boring, but it's just when you're in there, people get excited about it. People stop paying attention to that, whatever they were doing. Shh. Azerbaijan is doing their thing, and it's entertaining.
Everyone shut up.
Yes, shut up about it. Exactly. We were all into it. And that is powerful. I think that says it alone when people just want to watch it. And actually, it was interesting because Tamta from Cyprus was in the press center when it happened. I still want to just watch it. Like, I want to watch this. You know, and Tamta was blocking my view. And I'm like, can I tell her to move it to the side? You know, I want to see it. But no, that's how I feel about it. It's a wonderful thing and show. And Azerbaijan, you do all the credit in the world. And we said it's tough to pick. No one sucked today. I think we agree that everyone was bringing their game. But who was the most disappointing, worst, whatever you did, most disappointing, least favorite? You just tell me and why.
I'm going to let you go first, actually.
Oh, dear. Thanks a whole lot. Well, I'm going to contradict you a little bit because I was going back and forth between Lithuania because it's just not my song and the staging doesn't elevate. I used the same criteria last time. And Malta because I was very disappointed by those walls. I know it's not their fault. I know the production, I think we're hearing at least that they said we cannot use them. Ultimately, I went with Malta because it really lost the excitement for me a little bit because there were too many wide shots now that they had closer ones, and that was the fun part for me. They're gone. Not a bad song. It's really just, only criteria I could use is most disappointing for the day because I love the waltz. Next time, the next rehearsal, they will be not in my bottom. So don't worry. It was just such a disappointment that they had to get rid of it. I'll sleep over it, wake up tomorrow, and move on with my life. What's yours?
So I'll let you go first, so I could go second, so I could break the rules.
Oh, dear.
The one I think needs the most improvement is the Netherlands.
Well, you said in your second place.
Yes, they were my second place, but they really, as the favorite, should be the favorite. And there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, and I want them to make those improvements because right now, this is my press hat coming on. I want to see those changes. I'm anxious to see them. I think everyone's anxious to see it. Our viewers are now anxious because they want to know what is going to be the final product. And maybe the Dutch are just really just teasing us a bit, and they know they're teasing us, and they love doing this to us. But I want to see improvements. I really want to see what the show is going to look like. And I'm really afraid that a aspect of it that I liked is not going to be there, such as the glowing orb. So it's almost me hoping that they choose the option I want, but I just kind of want to see a clear picture at this point because it does scare me a bit that they're still figuring things out. Like, these are things that, you know, should be done in the first rehearsal. I know there's still time in the second rehearsal, but I'm still a little bit worried. So that's why I'm choosing the Netherlands as the country that really needs to pick things up and get things together. I want to see them do well.
Well, we clearly made things more confusing with this one, but these are our thoughts.
There's nothing confusing about it. They were good, but I think they can do better. It's like a coach telling the championship team, yeah, you won the championship. You still kind of sucked at certain places, but here's where you can do better. And that's what I'm doing. I'm the coach without any experience, who's not a singer, who is a blogger, who enjoys Eurovision, and I'm telling the Netherlands to step it up. So take whatever you want. Take it or leave it. I know.
I know. There you have it. These are our thoughts, our favorites, least favorites, and disappointing, confusing. Leave your thoughts below. Who are your favorites? Let us know in the description box. We would love to hear from you. We gotta go because tonight is Euro Club time. Say what? So I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.